So I'm John Smedley, president of SOE.
Josh Higby, EP.
Higby, I'm the creative director.
What the heck is an EP?
What is EP?
Executive producer.
Oh, yes.
Sorry about that.
That means he's our boss.
Yep. Sadly. Tramel Isaac, senior art director. There you go. Done. It's over with.
You want to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, PlanetSide 2, which we just announced, is going to revolutionize first-person shooters. This is going to be a remarkable experience for people who have never played this kind of game before. MMOFPS is kind of a underused genre. Compared to how many MMORPGs there are out there, there's very few MMOFPSs. And we feel like now we're able to deliver on the MMOFPS in a way that no one else has previously, including ourselves. So we're really excited about it, and yeah, I'm not sure. Should I talk about some of the features? Should I talk more in depth about some of that stuff?
Please.
Some of the big things that we're adding are the territory control system that I talked about. That system is designed essentially to allow us to take these maps. In PlanetSide 1, those of you who played that game before, you know that the battles really concentrated around a couple different places. Battles that were either in towers, facilities, or in bridges and choke points that connected two of these areas together. With PlanetSide 2, one of the things that we really wanted to improve on was making it so that you could fight in more than just those same predictable places. So the territory control system that we designed is specifically created so that each piece of the map has value, has intrinsic value through resources, and has value that players are going to want to contest and fight over. So rather than just going and capturing a facility to increase your empire's influence over the continent, you will be capturing everything, every piece of territory. Some of them will be larger, some of them will be smaller, but there won't be a single place that isn't a contestable spot. So that's a big change. And that's forced us to change the way that we design levels, that we design continents. It's forced us to change a lot of what we did in PlanetSide 1 to make that stuff work. And what it ends up with is we have these continents that have a lot more vertical gameplay, that have a lot more, what I mean by vertical gameplay is, you have scaffolding along canyon walls, things like that. It's much more dense. The amount of players that are going to be able to fit in a PlanetSide 1 or a PlanetSide 2 map and be able to have meaningful interactions with other players, meaningful gameplay is going to be much larger than in the same square footage in PlanetSide 2, just because of how many more things they're going to be able to go do on those maps. So that's a really cool and really big difference in PlanetSide 2. Now, the territory control metagame really gives the resource game, is really the thing that drives resources. And resources are sort of a new impetus for content and for the combat, and more like a motivation for players to be fighting. So on a continent you will have multiple regions that can be captured, and each of those have an intrinsic resource value to them. So as you walk around and you capture these different areas, you'll be gaining resources for your empire, for your outfit, and for yourself. So certain areas might be more rich in rare resources. Some of them might be rich in more common resources. The way they're spread out is going to really encourage players to go fight in certain areas where they might not have, maybe I don't have access to Araxium, for instance, which was one of our rare resources. I don't have access to that on this continent. So I look at the map and I say, you know what? In order to be able to continue fighting, I need to get Araxium, or my squad needs to get Araxium, my outfit does. And empires are making these decisions on a larger level too. So now you're going to go out and you're going to look on the map and say, okay, well, cool, where is Araxium? Who is controlling Araxium right now? And you're gonna make decisions about going and capturing that piece of territory that you need to be able to get whatever upgrades or attachments that you need to get. So the resource metagame really is going to be the reason that people are continuing to fight. It's not going to just be to capture all the bases. I want to capture the territory. I want to hold specific territory. I want to deny this resource to my enemies. Maybe you know that the Vanu are really they require a lot of Araxium. Maybe you're a new com player and you don't require a lot of Araxium. So you keep that Araxium just to deny it to the Vanu who are attacking you in other places. That's really cool, and it adds a lot of variety to the gameplay.
And a lot more of the strategic decisions of what you're doing and how you're jumping into play at this hour or with this particular group. You know, I think that's one of the things that's really exciting is with this many players, with this much going on, that you're not drilling down towards this particular area, this particular encampment. That you're really taking a look at the bigger picture, and it's really about the war across the entire continent,
right?
Across the entire world, about what you're trying to decide to do, and where you, your squad, or your whole empire is going. And I think that's actually one of the really exciting things, is because now it's all of us on the move. You know, there's things that I can accomplish personally, there's things that we can do as a group, but we're moving together, which is again one of those things that I think goes way above and beyond what you see in a lot of the FPS gameplay out there. Is this thought of, I'm part of this huge army,
and we're all accomplishing goals together.
And we're all accomplishing goals together, and we're all helping each other, supporting each other on such a large and grandiose scale. You just don't get that anywhere else.
Right, and PlanetSide, one of the most amazing things about PlanetSide is just the fact that it's persistent. So that territory that you captured is yours until somebody takes it back from you. That's not something that happens in any other FPS game. Usually you have a round reset, somebody wins, somebody loses, and it's all completely done. It didn't mean anything. PlanetSide, it really does mean something. The longer you can hold on to territory, the more resources you can collect from it. And that's really what makes PlanetSide such a kind of transcendent experience in FPS gaming.
Do you want to talk about the skill stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So the skills tree that I touched on briefly in the meeting, the skills tree and classes, they go together. So we do have classes in the game. They are combat roles, and you can switch between them seamlessly as much as you want. It's not something that you create a medic and now you're always playing a medic. You can switch into these roles as you need to be able to support your squad, your outfit, or your empire in whatever battle facilities they need. So the skills tree is really for everything in the game. Everything from implants to weapon attachments to weapon power-ups to vehicles to the actual healing rate of your healing gun as a medic are all going to be granted and accessed and increased through this skills tree. And what I talked about really briefly in the keynote was the time-based unlock system. So essentially what that means is you are able to select the skills that you want to level up. You're able to queue up to 24 hours of these skills, and they will continue to go whether you're online or offline. All you have to do is log in once a day and make sure that you still have skills in your queue, and you'll continue to advance your character. Now, they're limited, so as you progress down the line, you'll eventually hit a wall where I'm only battle rank 4, I can't train past a certain amount. So once I get to battle rank 20, you essentially have the entire game open to you in terms of what advancements that you have. But within that, we have a huge amount of variety. If you want to be a Vanguard driver, for instance, Vanguard is one of our main battle tanks for the new conglomerate. If you want to be a Vanguard driver, not only will you be able to increase the handling of the Vanguard tank, you'll also be able to unlock different secondary weapons. Maybe you want, you're going into a battle that requires ground-to-air weapons because there's a lot of air combat there. Maybe you want to have an anti-infantry gun on the top. Maybe you want to have a mortar cannon on the top. We're going to have all of those attachments be unlocked through the skill system too. And they'll be able to be slotted using resources. So as you get your tank, you'll then say, hey, cool, what I want to add to this today is this 50 caliber machine gun, which I've unlocked. I use some resources, put it on there, and now I have a customized tank that I'll be able to use, well, until somebody blows it up. And all of that is accessed through the skills tree. In addition to that, to those kind of things, we have skills tree for outfits. One of the things we really want to do is let outfits, which are our equivalent of guilds, be very customizable. I always use the example of the 101st Airborne in the Army. These guys, when you see them, you know that's a badass paratrooper. We want outfits in PlanetSide to feel sort of the same way. When Smedley's bombers come flying over the hill and they're all in Reavers, which are one of our kind of air cav units, we want you to know that, hey, those guys are the most badass aircraft people on our entire server. And not only do they all fly these Reavers all the time, but they've spec'd their outfits specifically to give them more upgrades for their aircraft, more power for their rockets, whatever. These sort of skills are able to be spec'd on an outfit level. So if you want to be the best, if you really just care about flying air vehicles and you really want to be an aircraft guy, then you're going to have this aspirational idea of, hey, I want to join that outfit because that's the outfit on my server and my empire that really is all about doing this activity that I really want to do. And that'll be likewise for all kinds of different things. Not only you want to be maxes, you want to be infiltrators. Those roles will be able to be enhanced based on your outfit that you join.
Should talk about the skill, the advancement through playing.
Yeah, so not only is the time-based unlock, not only does the time-based unlock system basically let you increase your character while you're offline, but if you are online and playing actively, you do get a bonus to how fast that speeds up. So based on your current activity, how many guys you've killed in the last 10 minutes, that sort of thing, your velocity by which points are being put into the skills is increased. So that way, the more active players are getting direct rewards for playing the game. Now, a lot of people might ask, why did we want to have the offline skill system? And there's a few reasons for it. One was the one that I gave in that meeting. We want people who only have a few hours to play on the weekends, who might not be in college anymore. They can't play for 12 hours a day anymore. We want them to be able to keep up with their friends that still can. That's a big reason. Another big reason is we want to allow players to essentially get. What was I going to say? I have a thought here. We want to allow players to. We want to encourage players to be playing actively, but in PlanetSide, a lot of times people would be frustrated by the amount of time it takes to coordinate battles, and that kind of massive coordination across big groups of people is a big part of what makes PlanetSide work. And with this time-based unlock system, you won't feel like you're wasting your time when you're not actively fighting. If you are waiting for reinforcements to come, waiting for obstacles to be cleared, waiting for the signal to go, your character is still actively advancing. So the people who are just like, I just need one more kill to get this thing, don't go running off randomly, because they don't need one more kill to get it. They just need to wait a couple more minutes, and they'll be able to unlock it. So it helps out with that. It helps out a lot with coordination. And as anybody who's ever tried to run a empire-wide battle in PlanetSide knows, getting people to not go run off randomly to go earn experience or something is an absolute challenge. So this is something that's going to really help with ensuring that those big battles can happen.
We should also say that, touching on the getting into battle issue, it was something that we recognized in PlanetSide was made for slow gameplay at times. The sanctuaries, the shuttle system, these are things that don't exist in PlanetSide 2 because they were bad parts of the game that we said, let's not have those. So there's a lot different spawning system. You'll be able to spawn directly on your squad mates and many other, although that's a skill. There are many ways that we've gone in and said, well, let's take the good parts of PlanetSide and make them better and get rid of the bad parts.
Yeah, really the goal of the design of PlanetSide was to look at everything that we loved about, or the design of PlanetSide 2 was to look at everything that we loved about PlanetSide, figure out all that made PlanetSide the amazing experience that it was. Capture all of that, and then take all the bells and whistles that modern day FPS gamers demand in terms of graphic engines, in terms of convenience features. Add those, take all the systems and features that modern MMO players demand, and add those where we can. And then take the last 8 years worth of knowledge that we have from running the PS Live service, all those lessons that we learned, the things that we know don't work very well in this kind of game, do work really well in this kind of game, and integrate all that experience. And then essentially what you have at the end of that is the core design for what PlanetSide 2 is.
I wanted to touch on one important thing that we're not ready to announce specifics on yet, but I want to talk about this plan that we have. We're going to do something that no other MMO has ever done. In short time, you're going to be hearing the 3-year plan for PlanetSide 2. What I mean by that is our ideas. of all the features that we would like to add. We're not going to give specifics on exactly when they're going to come because things can change. We're going to put this out there for the players. We want to hear back from them, and we're going to alter that plan based on their feedback. So most MMOs go out with, and including a lot of ours, go out with an expansion at a time, and we design, kind of ahead of where the players are at. We actually want to give players an idea of what it is we're thinking about taking this. And I'll give you a for example here. We are, in a big way, planning on making this a sandbox game. I've said that a number of times, and what I mean by that is the ability to build, player outfit-owned bases, that sort of thing. Outfits defending territory that they claim, maybe permanently. Maybe they are badass and can defend it, with their player-built bases. This is stuff that's we're not going to have in there at launch. We've got some pretty crazy ideas crazy awesome ideas, I think, about where we want to go with this. And we want to lay a lot of that out for the players and say, what do you think? Are you with us on this? Or do you have better ideas? And we're going to have, very open community dialogue from before the game even launches. So we think that's a pretty new and unique thing. We'll see how it works. I think it's going to be really a new dimension to what it is we're trying to do with the players.
I think it's more trying to give this game back to the players. One of the things that I've heard John say multiple times is that we want to make PlanetSide 2 for the hardcore PlanetSide players. And these are the guys that are going to be driving, most of what we believe is the cool parts of PlanetSide 2. Everybody's got a good idea. We read the forums actively. We know what people are talking about. We know exactly what people don't like. We hear, all the complaints about, BFRs and unbalancing and all this other stuff. So, we're not going down that route again. We want to bring this back so that the players can have something that they feel like they're a part of. And, the company is moving toward that direction so that we can just give back as much as we possibly can and then take those ideas and build upon that. And hopefully, as the game builds up and you guys, tell your friends about how great the game is and the game gets bigger and bigger, then we can have this large community of people, which actually, we need in order for PlanetSide to be successful. You have to have that massive warfare. You have to have large numbers of people. So hopefully, as we start catering to the audience, you guys can help us, build this product into something that you always wanted it to be.